Have you ever been trying to sleep when all of a sudden your ears are assaulted by the revving engines and the loud mufflers of a bunch of bikes?
Yes, more than once.
Yeah, that's a pretty common occurrence in Japan. So today we want to find out, what's going on with these biker gangs, what's their history, and how they've immortalized themselves in Japanese youth counterculture. Let's get into it. I'm Frankie.
I'm Rosa.
And this is
Conbini Cult.
Woo! Welcome back to another episode.
Good to be back.
We're going to be talking about these Bosozoku today.
Bosozoku. So I'm going to just keep saying biker because it's a little shorter. But
yeah, Bosozoku is a bit long. We could call them bozos for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely bozos out here.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that they're annoying.
Sorry, I'm a hater.
I don't think anybody can deny that they're annoying. I'm sure even to themselves.
To be fair, I haven't talked to one of them, so, I mean...
Well, that's because they're all, like, teenagers. Yeah, which we'll get into, like, the average age and stuff of people in this gang. But, yeah, I'm not talking to 17-year-olds usually, so it's no wonder.
I mean, there are some older ones, but I'm also not, like... If I see them in uniform, I'm not, like, running to say hi.
That's true.
That's true. I think... We saw one recently, right?
Oh, yeah. We saw one by Nara Park, and he was wearing because we're going to get into some of the outfits that they wear, like the jackets and stuff and the leather boots. So he was wearing that exact, like, kind of vintage outfit. So.
Riding the exact bike.
Yeah.
Prototype and everything. So I wasn't going to be like, hey.
Yeah. But he was also stopped because we were crossing the street. He was stopped at a traffic light. So we're not going to be like, hey, can we talk to you?
How you doing?
About being in the Bosozoku.
He might be actually glad to talk about it though.
Actually, he probably would if he wasn't stopped at a light. If he was in a parking lot or something, maybe.
That's true. People love talking about their youth and former glory.
Exactly, the golden days of their youth. So before we get into that, I just wanted to share a recent news story.
Oh, here we go.
Get comfy. So I just wanted to share a recent news story is kind of related to Bosozoku. In April, at the end of April, at the start of Golden Week, a 44-year-old man attacked two teenagers with a hammer.
What?
So let's get into why. So in Fusa, Tokyo, there was a group of boys in their teens who were parked outside of a restaurant at night. They're like revving their engines all night, annoying the neighbors, screaming, laughing loudly, just generally being noisy. So this 44-year-old man who lived with his mother, both of them couldn't sleep, they're disturbed. Apparently they tried to talk to them first, like, hey, can you quiet down? And apparently like other neighbors had done the same, or maybe even put complaints into the police, but nothing was done about it. So then one night this man just loses his patience. He goes outside with a hammer and hits two of them.
He hit them?
He hit them.
He wasn't even like trying to intimidate them or anything, just straight up. It's summertime.
Exactly. And his mom also went outside to try to stop him. But yeah, so the worst of the two injuries on the teens, like one got hit like right under his eye with the hammer. Yeah. I mean, they're both fine now, I think. But that's pretty scary to get hit in the face with a hammer.
That's aggravated assault.
Yes. And both of these boys were 17.
Oh.
So the police go to this guy's house because, somebody called the police after he hit them with the hammer. And the police go to his house, knock on the door, and then he comes outside with like a survival knife.
Oh.
Like pointing it
at
the police. And then he also sprayed something at the cops that was like
like some bug spray?
Something resembling tear gas he sprayed at them.
How did he get these materials? Aren't knives illegal here?
It depends how big the knife is.
Okay.
Yeah, so then he barricaded himself in the house, and then he got away and was on the run for like 2 days.
Is he like a professional criminal? What is this?
Yeah, well, see, we're going to go down the rabbit hole with this because the more you find out about this man, you're like, oh. Also, this happened in, did I say Fusa, Tokyo already?
Yes.
I might have said that. But he ran away to Chiba. I don't know, maybe he had a friend or something. But it was only 2 days before the cops got him. But when this news story first surfaced, so my husband told me about it because he knew that we were going to do an episode about Bosozoku. So he was like, oh my gosh, you need to share this news story that just happened. So initially, netizens online were like, those biker gangs are so annoying. This man is a hero. And then they start generating like AI images of this man like doing community service, like
helping. He's a vigilante.
Yeah.
He's a underground hero of sorts. So the teenagers were in this motorcycle gang?
Not explicitly, because we're going to get into that a bit later. Like, I don't know if kids these days consider themselves Bosozoku. Maybe they're just, I don't know, friends hanging out and causing trouble. I don't know.
They're not necessarily suited up and
Yeah, exactly. They don't wear those types of uniforms anymore or even have the same bikes. But also with the netizens online, with the community service photos, and then also pest extermination.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this man in those types of uniforms.
That's a bit harsh for some teenagers.
Yeah, so initially everybody was on his side, and there was a petition that was made that got over 20,000 signatures for a reduced sentence for this man.
They're like, free my mans.
And then to get stricter penalties for these biker gangs. And there was also 240,000 yen raised in crowdfunding for this guy. So he was arrested 2 days later on May 1st on suspicion of attempted murder. But on May 22nd, it was dropped down to just assault.
Oh, okay.
But there's a plot twist. So the car that he used to run away to Chiba, the police were like, this also seems like the car that was used in a recent robbery.
Oh, no. The police finally doing their job?
It's rare.
That's a plot twist, indeed.
So yeah, at a recycle shop in Tachikawa, Tokyo in February around 3 a.m., 2 guys broke into this recycle shop. They broke a display case and they stole a bunch of name brand bags and other items that were worth approximately 3.4 million yen, around $20,000.
Whoa.
And it was actually the same car that was used for that. So they're like, oh, got him.
So he was the robbery man?
Yes. So in total, because of this incident, there were like technically 3 arrests. So once was for the assault of the teenagers. Once was for assaulting a police officer and obstructing their duties because, he's spraying some tear gas-like substance. And then the 3rd time for this theft. And his license plate was fake.
He got hit with everything.
So they did some interviews with his neighbors, and the general consensus was that this man was kind of scary. Anyway, like 10 years prior, he had moved back in with his mom. He was kind of a recluse, like looked angry all the time. They also said he's covered in tattoos, and he's a big, intimidating guy, so...
Oh,
tattoos. But yeah, and also 3 years prior to this, he was arrested for a similar incident where he was attacking some teenage boys that were loitering, and apparently that was with an axe.
Axe?
Yeah. I didn't find any more details about that, but maybe like a hatchet or something, but he's unhinged.
Yes. He sounds like he has anger management issues.
Yeah, for sure.
Some kind of disorder.
So the latest coverage I found about this was from June 23rd. So if anything else comes up before the episode gets uploaded, I'll do a little update. But that's what we know so far. So yeah, initially people thought this man was a hero for hitting teenagers, annoying teenagers with a hammer. And yeah, I wonder how they feel now, the people who signed this petition and raised money for him.
Little did they know they were funding another group. Come on, like kids are supposed to be noisy. Kids are supposed to cause trouble. Remember when like we were kids and like going to concerts and being noisy?
Yeah.
Having house parties. That's like...
Kids these days don't have as many spaces. I mean, they have more in Japan than they do in the US, but there are not that many places where like teens are welcomed. So I do feel for them in that sense.
Yeah, but they really shouldn't do that in a neighborhood because, people will complain.
It is annoying because they always do it in the middle of the night.
That's true. I guess that's when they have the free time to be annoying. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, who wants to party at like 2 p.m.? You know what I mean?
Me? No,
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. So, to get back into Bosozoku. So, what we're going to cover today is Bosozoku history, their reputation. We're going to talk about the bikes that they used and the outfits that they would wear. Are they actually dangerous? Or are they just annoying? Are they connected to the yakuza? Their relationship with law enforcement and the gang's decline. And there were also female Bosozoku, which we'll talk a little bit about. And then some media depictions.
Yes.
Let's go.
When people think of Japanese street gangs, they often imagine like the yakuza, right? But many ordinary people in Japan, especially from the 1970s through 1990s, the more visible and immediate menace was often the Bosozoku. Literally, it means reckless driving tribe or violent running tribe. When me and my tribe pull up.
Me and my tribe. That's what the kanji is, yep.
Yeah, that's the kanji meaning. Mm-hmm. So these were not just kids who liked motorcycles, because that was part of the culture. But also, like, at their peak, they were organized youth biker gangs known for, like, loud, heavily customized motorcycles, night rides through residential and entertainment districts. Why did they have to do residential districts, right?
Well, because they want to annoy people.
Okay,
That's
fair.
why.
Fair.
They're not just going on mountain roads. And well, they would annoy the animals in that case, I guess.
Not the bears.
Someone's always going to be.
Leave them bears alone.
Yeah.
So deliberate noise and public disruption, military-style uniforms called tokofuku. Did I say that right? I hope.
Tokofuku?
Tokofuku. Group loyalty, hierarchy, territorial identity, and fights with rival gangs.
So for the video version, I'm going to be sharing some images throughout the video. And I just want to note that a lot of these pictures were taken by the photographer Masayuki Yoshinaga. And then also, we'll get into more specifics about it later, but they do use a lot of rising sun imagery. So
Yes.
I don't think any of the images that I chose have that. Yeah, just to let you know. All right. So the history. How did this group even come about? So they emerged post-World War II when young kamikaze pilots returned home. They were expecting to die. So having to return to a normal life after that was kind of boring for them. And they still wanted those militaristic aspects of camaraderie, danger, excitement. Sounds like teens.
Yes.
So in the 1950s, as they're emerging, they were inspired by Western films like Rebel Without a Cause, and at first they became known as Kaminarizoku, Thunder Tribes, due to the loud noise that their vehicles made, and their motorcycles became symbols of freedom, danger, and male bravado.
That's cooler though. Kaminarizoku?
Yeah, that sounds much cooler than Bosozoku.
But they became bozos later, that's why.
But Bo is violence, so maybe they're like,
Boroku, yeah.
We're tough. Tougher than thunder.
We're just loud as thunder.
Loud as thunder. Tougher than lightning.
Somebody tell them.
Sorry, guys. So then throughout the 60s and 70s, so the media dubbed this newer version as Bosozoku after a series of riots caused by group runs where a bunch of bikes are going out at the same time, brought the bikers' dangerous driving habits to the attention of the media and the public. And then they were like, oh, that sounds cool. Let's use it. We're Bosozoku.
They actually liked the term then.
Yeah.
They weren't offended by it.
Yeah, because it's like, we sound so tough. Let's do it. So at this point, groups were becoming more organized. Street riding became more collective and ritualized. So these runs, or the large gatherings, could sometimes be hundreds at a time, which they take complete control of the roads by blocking traffic, driving recklessly, and just being an intimidating presence. So what we hear these days, there might be like 5 to 10, maybe 15, and that is so noisy. So can you imagine 200 of them?
I might crash out. Or make them crash. Because I'm going to get in the way. No, they're going to kill me.
Well, yeah, and then for anybody else trying to drive on the road, you're like, oh, come on. Never going to get to my destination.
They're blocking like the whole road. It's like locked in if there's 100 of them, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. There was, in one of the mini documentaries that I watched, everything is linked below, as always, all the sources and stuff. One person said that there was even one night where there was 1,000 people riding together.
I kind of want to see more videos of this. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, if only we could watch that really old documentary from the 70s. I bet they showed it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so then the media and police began treating them as a distinct public problem at this point. So their identity became more nationally recognizable. It's where delinquent youth culture and bike imagery fused together. And also another note is that bikes became a lot more affordable in the 70s. Yeah. So that's why people could get them pretty easily.
You need a license, so I guess they were just licensed up.
No. A lot of them were riding without a license.
Oh my gosh.
Which is another reason for getting in trouble.
Why
don't you bring us to the 80s?
Yes. Not my era. But here we go. So that was their peak era, 1980s.
Yes.
So they have a massive membership, in the tens of thousands. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine No, I don't want to imagine. So large regional alliances. So they, at this stage, they must have the Tokyo ones and the Osaka ones and the Fukui,
the Kawasaki ones, even different, all different areas have their rivalries.
So they had famous uniforms, slogans, and bike customizations that became iconic, but they were public nuisance and fear became widespread.
So I don't know any Bosozoku today, but my ex, so his dad was actually a Bosozoku in the 80s. He was. And then when I saw pictures of him from the early 90s, he had that really tight perm. What is it called? Like a punch perm or something?
Yeah.
So like, he really looked the part.
The glasses and the uniform too?
Probably. I never saw pictures of that era. But also, at that time, I wasn't too interested in it. So now I'm like, damn, I should have asked when I had the chance.
Just to see, right?
Yeah. But I know that his mom's parents didn't like the dad. And that was one of the reasons.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess if you compare it to a Western perspective, like biker gangs and stuff, yeah. Not the best person.
Those no good teens.
Not the best person to bring home, I suppose. So from the 1990s to 2000s, police crackdowns intensified. Obviously, because people are like, help.
Yeah. There's 200 reckless bikers on the road. Somebody do something.
Children unlicensed, technically. So, right, there was crackdowns. Vehicle laws got stricter. So juvenile supervision increases. Yeah, that's true. Because where were the parents being like, you kids shouldn't be doing that, right?
Well, I'm sure a lot of them didn't have a good family life, which was another reason why the gang felt like home to them.
That's true. License enforcement became harsher and like youth culture diversified. But not that many teenagers wanted this life though, obviously, because it's kind of not a good one.
Sounds pretty stressful.
Yeah.
So yeah, more and more youth abandoned their bikes, but not the tokofuku. Not their uniforms. It's a very nostalgic thing, which were still key to the group's identity. In 1997, a garment maker who embroidered a uniform in Osaka was arrested on the grounds of aiding and abetting misbehaving motorcycle gangs, a move that set a precedent for arrests that followed. In another first, the Osaka Family Court authorized a request by the police to confiscate tokofuku worn by local bikers in 2002. The request was granted because, at least according to police records, the court agreed that the uniforms, quote, inspired fear and encouraged reckless driving.
That's crazy. I mean, nobody was arresting Hugo Boss when they were making, like, Nazi uniforms. So, like, I mean, at least they did something about it.
That's crazy. Even the garment worker.
I mean, he's getting commissioned. It's not like he's doing any crimes. I don't know. That's a bit much.
That's a bit much, yes.
It's like arresting the people that do tattoos on yakuza. Like, why would you do that? But okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so 2010s to now. So the numbers have collapsed, obviously, because, well, thank God.
Yeah.
Surviving groups are smaller. Style gets absorbed into fashion, manga, anime, and nostalgia. So now it's mostly like an aesthetic, I would say.
Yes.
So it's more of an aesthetic than a mass delinquent movement, if you will. There's less crime.
Yeah.
Maybe people are actually getting their license now.
Hopefully. So at their peak in 1982, the number of recognized Bosozoku members nationwide reportedly reached 42,500.
That's like
That's
city.
a lot. Yeah, that's the population of some towns. But by 2012, that number had dropped significantly to 7,297 and then down to 6,220 in 2017, according to reports citing National Police Agency data. Now it's around maybe 5,000, maybe less.
Yeah, much more manageable. So yeah, they still exist, but they're like, I guess they appear small splinter groups, noisy nighttime riders, because we still hear them.
Yes.
Like, maybe I should show the video of a little recording I did the other day, but...
Well, I put that in the beginning already.
Oh, okay, perfect. Nostalgic Outlaw.
Can play it again.
No, I don't want to...
No matter what city you're in, every single city that I've lived in Japan, I've heard them.
That's true. Even let me not say where I live.
Don't dox yourself.
Well, in my town too, I've heard them.
Yeah, and now I'm more in the Inaka than I was before, and I still
You still
hear
hear
them.
like some stragglers.
Yeah, and like me and my husband, we've lived together in 2 different cities. So the city we lived in before, when we would hear the bikers at night, he'd be like, "Oh no, this town is dangerous." Just joking. He's like, "It's dangerous here. We got to get out of here." And then when we moved to this town, I was like, "They're still here." And he's like, "No, it's dangerous. We got to move."
They're everywhere.
Yes.
You can't I don't know. I guess you have to move like in like a rice paddy somewhere. Maybe they won't be
I guess a town that has mostly old people there.
Yeah, go to like Tokushima or something.
Yeah, Shikoku friends.
Yeah.
Are the Bosozoku there?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So now, like, people do cosplay. Because, like, have you seen people cosplay this? Like, people in this uniform.
No.
Like, sometimes during Halloween, I seen it.
Oh.
And, like, I seen the female version, too. Which is, like, so there's a black uniform. And they're wearing, like, some tape over their chest. And they have, like, a vat. Like, that kind of aesthetic. Yeah, they're smaller delinquent crews rather than massive city-wide organizations, which I mean, good for my ears, right?
Yes.
So the Japanese police still explicitly mention enforcement against the reckless driving by motorcycle gangs. And in current English language traffic enforcement materials, which means the category is still active enough to be officially acknowledged.
So you were studying for the driving test, kind of. Did you see any information about?
Actually, like they didn't name drop these groups. They weren't like, don't be a Bosozoku, but they were like, you need to be conscious of like the sound that you're making. Like you can't be reckless with your horn, for example. Actually, just the fact that they were like saying like, don't get all like trigger happy on the horn. I thought that was funny because it's like back home we are honking.
Oh yeah, especially in like New York.
Yeah.
New York, it's not the sound of revving engines. It's the sound of people beeping the horns all day and night.
It's a national greeting over there. But yeah, like I'm not training for like a motorcycle or like a moped or anything, but I guess they're like just in case.
That's true. I guess if you were getting your motorcycle license, they would have more, clear
That's true.
guidelines about that.
There should be a section.
So yeah, under the revised traffic law, which took effect in June 2002, reckless driving is punishable by up to 2 years in prison or a maximum fine of 500,000 yen. The revised law also raised the number of penalty points for dangerous group driving from 15 to 25, which leads to a 2-year revocation of a driver's license.
Oh.
Also to note, there's not really a comparison with Western biker gangs. Because, like, it's a bunch of kids. And, like, the Hells Angels, for example, they're known to be involved with things like murder, drug trafficking, etc.
Human trafficking, too.
Yeah, all kinds of trafficking. But, yeah, if you're thinking about that in regards to Bosozoku, you might be confusing them with yakuza, which is different. But we'll mention how they're could sort of be related later.
The only good thing I can say about Western bikers is, like, you know how they gather in groups to, like, help kids who go to, like, court cases? So they have this group, I forgot what it's called, but they go around and help people, like, kids that are going to trial, and they have to do their confession so, like, they can scare the person and the kids feel safe. That's sweet.
The only time I saw a biker gang and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, was there was a TikTok video of this like Scottish biker gang, and it was when Miss Rachel was getting flack for like speaking about children in, areas of conflict, and the biker gang was like, whoever made Miss Rachel cry, we're coming for you. And then they start revving their engines. I gotta find it.
I think you showed me that. Like, please put it here. We can stand by like a vigilante justice. Yes. We can do that. Like helping children, helping women. Keep at it, boys. Please
do more of that.
Yeah, don't sell drugs, traffic people.
Yeah, don't traffic people and drugs.
I guess it's not very profitable to help people.
That's true.
Unfortunately. I don't know if it works.
You can't really do both.
It doesn't really work.
No.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty, the bikes. So the modified bikes and collective fashion. So usually classic Japanese bikes, especially older UJM style machines, so Universal Japanese Motorcycle, that's what they use. Japanese road bikes, especially older models from the big domestic manufacturers such as Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and Suzuki. They're commonly associated bike families like UJM style standards, 250cc to 400cc class bikes. Ooh, those get noisy after 300. So older inline fours and twins.
Oh yeah, these were very specific models. I'm not a bike person, but Honda CBX 400F, if that means something to you, and Yamaha XJ 400.
I feel like I don't think I've seen these back home. Like I don't feel like these are common.
Because back home is like Harley Davidson.
It's mostly Harley. I do see a lot of Kawasaki though. There's a specific model everybody wants to have. But I'm also not a vehicle person. Why these bikes? So apparently they're easier to obtain.
Or they were in the 70s and 80s.
70s and 80s, right? Yeah, probably now it will be harder, right? So they were easier to obtain, easier to customize, cheaper than super bikes, iconic silhouette, and common among youth riders. I guess they were affordable.
So the typical modifications that they would do to the bikes, high or inward pulled handlebars. So they did this so they could easily weave in and out of traffic. Very long seat backs. The back of your seat is ridiculous. Exaggerated tail sections, loud modified exhaust.
Oh, we know that.
flashy paint, military or rising sun motifs, directive lights or banners, deliberately impractical styling, and they would also cover their license plates when riding at night.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they don't get caught. And also wear a mask and
they wear masks?
Cover their face too. Sometimes.
Okay, I was thinking.
But definitely cover the license plates.
That's right. Yeah. They have a day job, I'm sure.
Maximum spectacle.
When you just want to show off with the boys.
So about the age to get a license and stuff, if anyone's wondering, to get a moped license in Japan, I don't know what it was in the 80s, but now it's 16 for motorbikes up to 50cc.
That's quite young.
Yeah. And you can also ride that on a regular driver's license, because I used to ride a moped before, till I got hit.
Rest in peace, the moped.
Yeah, but from 16 you could get this moped or motorbike certification, but only for small bikes. They're pretty small and slow at 50cc, and you're technically only supposed to go up to 30 kilometers per hour, which is, I don't know, kind of embarrassing, because there was one time like a person on a bicycle passed me because I was going so slow.
They should at least let you go at 50.
If you're on a road where the speed limit is 60 and you have to go 30, it's kind of dangerous at that point.
I would think so.
So, yeah, I was kind of fine after I got hit. I was like, you know what, maybe I don't need this moped life anymore.
You just needed a stronger one, because that one was not it. And you got hit
but
you weren't even moving. You were like stationary, right? When you got hit?
Oh, no, the light was green. It was like, it had just turned green and we were slowly going through the light and they tried to pass me and then hit me.
That's very bad.
It was. But that's another story. So then for a regular driver's license and for a motorcycle license, it's 18 years old. But remember, a lot of them were riding without licenses.
Wow.
And then I was also wondering why all the rising sun motifs? I couldn't find a definitive answer for it, so I'm just guessing. I'm assuming. I mean, if you know, let us know. But I guess it's because it originated from like the kamikaze pilots. So there's like the war motif and then maybe nostalgia for the time before modern Japan and before the suffocating societal expectations that now exist. And especially with like working culture in the 80s and stuff during the bubble economy.
It had to be, because remember when we did that episode about band media, we were talking about the eroguro, like they also had a lot of that motif. It's just something really tied with their military aspect, because like the last time they had a military was like during World War II, where they had all this motifs. So that's like the only aesthetic they have to look back. Even though the rising sun is basically banned in other countries, right?
Yeah, because of Imperial Japan's war crimes.
But technically, they never really banned it here.
No, you still see it. I think the Japanese Navy flag, or I'd have to double check if it's the Navy flag, but they still fly that flag.
Yeah, even in Kimetsu no Yaiba, you know, like Tanjiro's earring, it was like censored.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess from an outside perspective, it seems like it's more tied with like right-wing culture and tied to like Imperial Japan. So in my mind, like it doesn't really make sense that they're using it, because like right-wing conservative culture is, you know, trying to like shove those societal norms down everybody's throat. Yeah. So it's like you're perpetuating the thing that you don't like. So it just kind of reminded me of like the Manosphere guys who are like, unplugged from the Matrix, but literally like you're still perpetuating that. Like what the what are you doing?
You're basically became the thing that you sought to destroy.
Yes, exactly.
Like that scene from Star Wars. They're just
yes. But there was a quote from the Bosozoku photographer, and he said, in their mind they are samurai with Yamato spirit. There's no tomorrow.
Oh, so ride till you die.
Yeah.
Ride to the setting sun, and whatever happens, happens. So, YOLO. It's a little romantic.
Well, speaking of romantic and stuff, let's get into those uniforms, the tokofuku. So the outfits did show how unified the group is, because they're all wearing the same colors and stuff. So
everybody had different colors. A lot of people assume that jackets are just like nationalist slogans or like anti-police threats or like macho like posturing.
Which they are sometimes.
I mean, there definitely was some little dash of that. Like maybe
there's a lot of stuff written on them or embroidered on them.
Yeah, all over, right? Like all the back, on the sleeves. But according to the garment maker's interview from a Japan Times special feature published in 2018, many jackets also include like message of gratitude to parents and teachers, references to friendship, romantic poetry for girlfriends, goofy bravado, and jokes. Probably a bunch of puns in there.
So you might have a nice romantic little poem mixed in with some nationalist slogans.
They just had to have a little bit of everything, I guess, on their back or something. So
Sure.
yeah. So like, yeah, it's a contradiction, but there were also people. It's you gotta humanize them.
Well, they're kids, so like,
Yeah.
yeah, their brains are not developed, so okay.
Yeah. So they did have a violent image, but at the same time, they're like immature teenage boys, right?
Yes, exactly.
With macho gang aesthetics. So I guess they want to be.
Yeah, they want to look tough, so sure.
Why are men like this? That's another topic for another day. But yeah, they also had cringe poems and stitched to their back. So, the duality of men.
Of teen.
But the funniest part is that these terrifying jackets were not always just like death to the cops. Some of them also had like heartfelt thank you notes to their mom. I love you, mommy. So they did have people that they cared about. That's kind of worth thinking about. Because like, yeah, they're acting dumb, but we all have those times, right? Maybe not in like an organized...
Yeah, I never joined an organized biker gang, but I can relate to teen angst. As we said earlier, the police really cracked down on the uniforms in the 90s. We saw how that garment worker was arrested and they were trying to confiscate uniforms. But a lot of people who still have them, they might wear them to like festivals and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely for like Matsuri.
And then the hairstyles. This was interesting. So you might, like, each group kind of had their own hairstyle. Like
Everybody's just...
They had their uniforms, like jackets, all the same jacket, boots, same hairstyle.
So
too.
we're all going skinhead.
I don't think any of these ones had a shaved head.
That's an American one.
But one of the popular things was like tightly permed hair. And you especially see that with the Black Emperor group, which we will talk a little bit about later.
Yes.
Rockabilly styles.
Oh.
And then some of them bleached their hair too.
Yeah, they definitely did like slick backs, right?
Yeah. And then other aspects of their style. So a lot of times they wore a surgical mask to hide their identity when they were riding. The headband, hachimaki, that sometimes had slogans or sometimes it was just a rolled up towel. They would often ride without helmets to further show their rebellion.
Living on the edge.
And then a lot of them would ride shirtless. Like they would have the jacket, but they'd be shirtless and then their waist would be bandaged. So I was kind of looking that up before because you see with like the yakuza and stuff too, that they'll be sporting the open jacket and the bandaged stomach. And I'm like, what does that mean? Why are they doing that? It's just to look tough. Like, I got these battle scars.
Does that make you look tough? I don't know. It looks like you need to go to the hospital.
You just escaped from the hospital.
Yeah. Get some help.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay. I wasn't in this group. I don't understand their need for it. And then also the tall leather boots.
Okay, so walk a mile in these Louis Vuittons.
Walk a mile in my Bosozoku boots.
So yeah. Okay, so why were they so noisy, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's the question we all want to know.
I mean, as soon as I got to Japan, I'm like, what is going on?
Exactly.
Like, why is nobody doing anything? But apparently, like, that's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
So, the general purpose that it serves is, like, attention, like, look at us.
Yeah.
Stunting and styling into the sunset. We finna die. I'm like, okay. So defiance, we do not care about your rules. All right, that's a good one. Identity, the group is announced by sound before it is even seen.
That's true.
Wow. Power through disruption. So in a society where quiet and order are expected, noise becomes a form of domination. Oh, okay. So we have some interesting ideas here. So in other words, Bosozoku are not just riding motorcycles. They are staging a public act of social aggression.
That's deep.
Does that mean that they're dangerous, though?
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes they're dangerous. Sometimes they're just a nuisance. But it really depends on the era and what specific group it was. So at their peak, some of these groups were associated with fights with rival gangs, sometimes going as far as kidnapping and beating up their rivals. In some cases, it even ended in deaths.
That makes sense. People always take something too far.
The beatings and ambushes, road intimidation, because at times you would have hundreds of them doing the runs together. They also kind of, like the way that they ride their bikes, they're like bobbing or like weaving side to side, which makes it really hard for anybody to pass them.
That's true.
And just to look cool, I guess. Because some of them said like that really high back seat on the bike, like it kind of bobs too. So they're like, wow, it's just so cool.
Cool guy alert.
There was vandalism,
Yep.
hazing inside of the gang.
Oh, that makes sense. Like, you can't join our gang
Yeah.
unless you shave your head. I don't know.
In one of, I think it was the Vice documentary, they were showing some of this. Like, one of the leaders of the group was like smacking them around and like punching them in the stomach to like haze them, and that just made me, that's really sad.
It's not really hazing. That's like beating up a dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're just trying to show how tough they are by beating up other people. So yeah, that part makes me sad.
Why can't the hazing be like, do a good thing? Like, help this lady with some groceries or something. Why it has to be like, be a jerk?
I mean, we see hazing with like, you know, frats and stuff in the US too. It's just really sad. And then they also use weapons such as bats, pipes, or improvised clubs. So a lot of times you see them like riding the bike and like smacking the bat or the pipe on the ground to scare people. And then they had clashes with police. I was also curious if they were only beating each other up or if, you know, random civilians got involved. So I saw on Tofugu, I think that's like a blog. I don't think they're like a verified news source. So I will say allegedly the stuff that they put. So Japanese biker gang members were also known for starting fights and terrorizing people with wooden swords, metal pipes, baseball bats, and even Molotov cocktails.
Whoa.
They would vandalize cars and beat up anyone who got in their way. I feel like that's believable.
That's
like
true.
If some car was trying to pass them or like yelled at them, they'd probably punch them or like hit them or something. Foreigners were always a favorite target of their aggression. Clearly, they were a force to be reckoned with.
They would mess with me for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the rising sun motifs, it makes sense.
Oh,
I guess. It basically comes down to teenage rebellion because the majority of members are/were 17 to 20.
yes.
Very young. So until recent years, the age of adulthood in Japan was 20. It changed to 18
Yes.
a few years ago. But yeah, so this is like 17 to 20. That's until they reach adulthood.
I think like just when people get together in groups, they just feel braver.
That too.
They feel like they can do more things. If they were by themselves, I don't think they would do that.
Probably not.
Never.
So yeah, they emerged from a very specific social environment. So that post-war social instability,
Yeah.
youth alienation, strict school and work hierarchies,
Still have that now.
which that is militaristic.
Yeah.
So, but the militaristic thing is what they like. So that's another contradiction to me. But okay. Class frustration, hyper-conformist social pressure, masculinity and social rituals, the need for belonging, which can be said for anybody who joins the gang or cult.
Yes.
The sad part, they're just looking for people with whom they can belong. Thrill-seeking, anger at authority, the desire to be seen instead of ignored. Many of them also came from lower-income families, so maybe they didn't have a good home life, and a lot of them were high school dropouts as well.
Okay, so you're in a society where discipline, obedience, and quiet is expected, right? You gotta fall in line and all that. So I get it why these teenagers would want to escape that. But then like you just created like an organized group, so it's a little weird.
Well, it's like taking it too far.
Yeah, I guess maybe the group got too big and they're like, well, we can do anything. They're like even scaring the police. So yeah, Bosozoku became one of the loudest ways to reject all three. So for many members, the gang provided brotherhood, structure, identity, protection, status, ritual, an outlet for rage, and a substitute family. Oh,
Yeah, that's the sad part.
yeah. This is why,
That's why I can't like hate them. They're just kids who like want to belong somewhere. But again, it's like taking it too far.
That's true. When I say I'm a hater, I mean I'm a hater of the sound.
Yeah, I hate that noise.
But like that. This is what teenagers do, right? Like you find your group that you belong with, and especially if you don't have a good home life,
Yeah.
these are the kind of things that happen. I think it's counterculture, right? Because it involves anti-police attitude. So kind of like counterculture things, like when people were punk in the 80s, right? So it's like that. Anti-school behavior, rejection of salaryman respectability, public disorder, deliberate intimidation, loud rejection of good citizen norms. So they were like a youth subculture that functioned as a Japanese counterculture. It was not just about liking motorcycles. It was like about rejecting the future Japan expected you to have. Yeah.
Makes sense.
We look at the future now, we're kind of like, oh, I get it. The most famous groups that we're going to talk about now, there's two. But unlike the yakuza, Bosozoku were often local and decentralized. So the most famous can depend on the city, decade, and who you ask. So here's the names. So Black Emperor.
So this is the one where a documentary was made about them in 1976. So I think this is probably the most recognizable name. It became almost synonymous with the classic Tokyo area image of Bosozoku in media and subculture discussions. But I will also say, if you look them up, they appropriated the symbol of the swastika.
Oh.
And I know some people are going to say, well, like in Buddhism, you have the manji symbol, which is, has a different meaning. But this group did purposely use it as the swastika for shock value. So I don't have any images on here that are going to have that, but just know if you look them up, you're going to see it. And then also in Tokyo Revengers,
yes,
you see this.
Yes.
Too. Because apparently the creator of Tokyo Revengers was in a biker gang.
He was, and he also went to talk to former members as he wrote his manga from Black Emperor.
So it's very accurate.
Too accurate. Oof. Yeah, there's also Spectre, or I guess Spector, I don't know. So one of the most influential historically significant names. So former Narashino Spectre members appear in documentaries and media retrospective. Some reporting and documentary-related coverage describes Spectre as one of the largest and most important lineages. A lot of English language internet lists for this are messy and repetitive. So based on like fan communities, you can find this information because it wasn't really documented back then, and we didn't have the internet in the 80s.
And like the Vice documentary that I mentioned before, it does kind of focus on Spectre, but that was in, I think, 2015.
Yeah.
So like at their prime, they didn't have a documentary. So.
No. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So then I would call this the Bosozoku to Yakuza pipeline.
Oh, makes sense.
Because, I mean, everybody kind of accounts things to the Japanese mafia, but this is a little more complicated than that. So, Bosozoku, they are not Yakuza, but many of them did end up joining the ranks of the Yakuza later.
I mean, it's a good place to recruit people if you think about it.
Well, yeah.
Vulnerable people, young guys that want to prove something.
Exactly. Because you've got, like, people considered teenage delinquents, thrill seekers, working class youth in a subculture. So, but yeah, some of them did later move into organized crime and become low-level Yakuza recruits. And they entered other delinquent scenes like Yankee, network street crews, extortion circles. Why was that?
Because Bosozoku were already taught like these skills like hierarchy, obedience to seniors, intimidation, street loyalty, willingness to break rules, and masculine performance. Which, isn't it ironic? Because you made this gang so you don't have to follow the rules at school.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a big contradiction.
It's like you did this to be free, but you just ended up into another web.
Like another, vicious. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
That's an easy pipeline for some people. So they're not the same as Yakuza, but yeah, there is some crossover. And then for those who didn't join the Yakuza, a popular industry for them to work in is construction.
Yes.
Because you don't need like even a high school degree to be able to do it. So yeah, I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, I have seen people, I mean, I don't want to judge. Their hair is dyed sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, construction's a hard job. All the hardest jobs pay the least.
Oh, I was going to say I hope they're getting paid well, but...
I don't think so. Because that's why it's not a popular industry either, because it doesn't pay that well. It's like really hard physical labor that doesn't pay that well. But it makes sense why they would get into it, because you don't need those like education requirements.
That's true, because a lot of them don't have the high school degree, like you mentioned.
Yeah. So then we get to the group's decline.
Yeah.
So basically, the police were coming in from all directions. But their decline was not caused by one single issue, but the police crackdowns were pretty significant in that. So there were updates to Japan's road traffic law in the early 2000s that allowed police to arrest the motorcyclists on the spot and also included heavy fines for reckless driving. So Japan got much tougher on reckless group riding, illegal modifications, noise violations, licensing, youth supervision, and surveillance.
There's mostly like social change. So like modern teens, right? So now they have different subcultures. We have smartphones now, gaming, we're going to stay home. We have online identity spaces to like express ourselves more. Because I guess back then, like if you were lonely and you have no one to talk to, you just go outside, right? And like hang around.
But now we have the internet.
Yeah, now you can just like message people on like internet boards, forums. Do people even use forums anymore? But anyway, so less interest in less interest in physically risky and public rebellion activities, if you will. So yeah, but also like, another reason, economic realities. So owning, modifying, storing, and maintaining a loud custom bike is expensive now.
Yeah. Which is why they don't really use those bikes anymore.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the public tolerance collapse, if you could ever say there was.
Was there ever, right?
So no more of that, like, boys will be boys. Most people would get pretty angry about them. I think the general consensus is that people think they're annoying.
I mean, people, if they lose it enough here, they will actually yell.
Hit you with a hammer.
Well,
that guy was called Hammer Man, by the way. They nicknamed him Hamma Otoko.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, but...
Sorry. But yeah.
So the aesthetic survive better than the lifestyle, I suppose.
That's true, yeah.
A lot of what people now recognize as Bosozoku survives in fashion, manga, anime, cosplay, retro bike scenes, and nostalgic media. The look stayed cool, but the actual street life became harder to sustain.
So these days, I think more of the teens are riding like regular mopeds because they're cheaper. And I'm sure you can do something, like you can still rev the engine on those ones. Even a normal moped is still pretty noisy.
Wasn't that so they were like prevalent during the bubble era, right? Mm-hmm. So people did have money.
Exactly.
Sort of.
Yeah, the economy was better. Now
So
the economy's not so good. Teens can't be as reckless as they want to be anymore. The economy's so bad, teens can't modify their bikes anymore.
Yeah, back in the day, what they say, boys be ambitious. Who said that?
That was somewhere in Hokkaido, right?
Yeah. He opened the school for boys.
Oh, at the Hitsujigaoka Hill.
Yeah.
In Sapporo.
Yeah, girls getting excluded. Great.
Yeah, they weren't allowed in the school. But
speaking of girls
being excluded.
Where the girls at?
So there were female Bosozoku.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the pieces that we read for this, which is, linked below. So it basically, pointed out the fact that it was a male-dominated thing. They did have some female members, but usually they were like the girlfriends of the members. And then some girls were like, well, I don't want to just ride on the back of his bike. I want to ride my own bike.
I want my own bike.
So then there emerged all-female crews.
Yay.
So maybe I'm a little biased, but they look a little bit cooler to me.
I mean, women will take something and make it better.
A biker girl is just so adorable.
Her hair flowing in the wind.
Even if they were maybe hitting people with bats.
Well, I mean, what
that's
people
not adorable, but
we'll see. Well, yeah, maybe it's not cute to go around with your girlies hitting.
No, the aesthetic is cute, but not actually beating people up.
But I can see it. The girls also want like their hair flowing in the wind as they ride into the sunset. Mm-hmm. Like, what's wrong with that?
That's kind of a short and sweet section. Yeah, don't have much.
I feel like it wasn't that documented.
No, it wasn't. There are some photographs of them, but it was not like nothing like the 42,000 male members.
That's true. I guess girls had better things to do. No offense to the ladies.
Yeah, maybe they were like, actually, I didn't like hitting that person with a bat.
I just did it for the aesthetic. So, they're still kind of immortalized now, don't you think? Like in media. Mm-hmm. So I think everybody, this is the most famous example, Akira. Mm-hmm. And when I was watching it, right, because we watched it when we were in the West, I
watched it a long time ago.
Yeah, I had no idea that was the aesthetic.
No. I did want to rewatch it before this episode, but I just didn't have time.
That's true.
But we would have a new perspective the next time we watch it.
That's true. I mean, the main characters are wearing the clothes. Mm-hmm. That's what I remember. Just like he's wearing like a red version. But, like the setting of Akira, if I remember, it was like in the future. Yeah. It was like a cyberpunk kind of thing. So
yeah, and that came out in 1988. So prime time. Yeah,
the best place to draw inspiration from than what's currently happening. Yeah. So I did not watch the GTO the early years.
I think I watched a drama version of it.
Oh, okay. That does sound familiar now.
Yeah. That was from the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Then there's also Kamikaze Girls, which I believe it was an anime, if I remember correctly.
I think they made a live action.
They might have had a manga then as well. Yeah. So you mentioned like documentaries like Godspeed You, Black Emperor from 1976. Yep. And Tokyo Revengers, which is the most recent thing I watched.
Yeah, the most popular recent media about the biker gangs.
Yeah, I liked it at the beginning. I'm not going to get into the plot, but the art is amazing. And the research that he did to write this manga, very good.
Yeah. Can appreciate that. I haven't seen it. I wanted to watch a few episodes of it, but to be honest, I read the plot and it was like,
I know.
I mean, forgive me for oversimplifying it, but like the girl that the main character dies and then he goes back in time to try to save her.
Yeah.
But his brilliant plan is to become the leader of the gang. Like, he could have done anything else, but he had to relive his glory days. That's what it sounds like to me as an outsider.
He could have, I don't know, done anything else, like maybe get her out of town, like help her somehow. Well, to be fair, a little bit of a spoiler. Like, he keeps dying in the story, so he has to keep going and back in time. And
well, that's interesting.
He keeps trying different ways to because like every time he's like, oh my god, I think I saved her. JK.
Isn't that also the plot of like some manhwa that you were reading?
Yes, and I love that one. But yeah, every time he's like, oh my god, I finally saved her, something happens.
Oh.
And then like,
okay. Well, that sounds more interesting.
Yeah,
than what I thought it was.
One of the timelines, he's not even in the gang. He like joined the police force to try to stop them. But that didn't work either.
Okay. So it's not what I'm thinking. It's the whole time he's just trying to be the leader of the gang. That's just one
That was one
possibility.
of the things that he tried to do.
Okay.
But what annoyed me about this story is like he wasn't even strong.
Oh.
The main character. I was annoyed. I'm like, why is he so weak? But whatever. It's overpowered characters are annoying too, right? It's not fun.
Yeah, like the solo leveling guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just some other media references in more recent times. So I don't know if you watched Badly in Love, the dating show with like former delinquents.
You told me about it. Yes. I didn't watch it yet.
So in the very first episode, when the characters, because they filmed this at an old school, because that was kind of like part of the aesthetic of what they were doing for the show. Like they had to follow the rules of the school, or like they'd be kicked out. They'd be kicked off the show. But when the characters first come into like the classroom to introduce each other, the first two people that show up are two former Bosozoku. So the one guy walks in the room, they see each other like all decked out in their uniforms, their boots and stuff.
Why do they come in uniform?
Because they want to show that they're tough. So they had to have been from like rival groups or something. So immediately they're just like, like
they're like knocking desk over and like
he kicked the chair.
The staff ran over.
The security had to break them up.
And they ended up sitting next to each other.
Oh yeah, they were like besties by the end of it. The one guy was like, he's my senpai. I respect him.
Did you try to kill him?
Like the one guy, Tsu-chan, I think he was like 30 or 32 maybe. But when they give some of his background, he was once the leader of a biker gang. And then the other guy, Milk, he was the head of a biker gang in Kawasaki. Okay. So yeah, they rolled up in their tokofuku.
See, I don't get this about men or boys. Like they'll hit each other and like get into a fight and then they're still besties. I feel like if I beat my girlfriend up, like we're not gonna be besties.
We're never gonna speak again.
I would if that bitch pulls my hair up, we're never speaking
we're
again.
Done.
No, that's like, and I'm from Miami, so I don't know. Boys are different. Like they'll beat each other up and they're like, "You're my best friend."
So to end the episode on a kind of sentimental note, so this is a quote from former tokofuku manufacturer Kazuhiro Nakagawachi. In a sense, the uniforms are proof that you've lived your life to the fullest. It's my job to create a special memory for them. Sure. Sure.
Well, who am I to tell people how they should cherish their youth?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them really valued that time in their life and were really happy then in their glory days. So can't tell you that that's wrong. I mean, that's how you feel.
I'm sure it was fun riding dirty with like 40,000 people all around. Japan just... How did they not go deaf?
That's true. Did they wear earplugs? Not that I've seen.
They all have like tetanus.
They all have hearing aids now?
Not tetanus, tinnitus.
Yes.
Tetanus is an infection.
I mean, with these metal pipes, maybe they got tetanus too.
And tinnitus?
Who knows?
Okay, double whammy. Okay.
So yeah, that was an interesting one to research because we hear them all the time, but I never really thought about their history.
I mean, the whole reason we thought of this was like, we heard them on the street. We're like,
episode idea right now.
You learn a lot about these groups, right? The yakuza are a little bit more hard to like get into.
Yeah, I don't know if we can do an episode on them because it's just so complicated.
But they're also declining because of police like intervention. But these motorcycle gangs are more harmless in the end.
Compared to them, yeah.
Compared. I guess they were infighting each other at least.
Yeah, they fought each other more than random people, but there were some civilian
Incidents
sometimes too.
I'm sure. You get a group of people together, like more than 40,000. There's bound to be like people who are not good ones in there.
All right. Well, that is our version of Bosozoku history. Of course, let us know your thoughts. If we missed anything, let us know. But yeah, thanks for listening and watching. Catch you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.